All right, boys, a lot has gone down these past couple weeks for Liverpool FC, and it's not been great. It's not been pretty, and the frustration amongst the entire fan base, and then our little fan base, of course, as well, um, has been pretty evident, right? And I think that stems from a lot of different things of us knowing how good we can be, the expectations from last season to this season, and the expectations from this past summer that we just had, which a lot of people and myself as well calling the greatest summer ever, in not just Liverpool history, but football history as a whole, right? And going into it and thinking that we should probably be blowing these teams away. I mean, getting Eastside, getting Verts, um, Frimpong, Kirkes, a lot of these insane additions to the team, and it just doesn't seem to be clicking. Jay, he made a really good point here about it being a renovation when maybe the house didn't even need renovations, right? I don't know if you guys have ever gone through those types of things in real life where sometimes keeping the house as it is actually, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it because sometimes if you try to fix it, you break it, right? And I think this might be a case of exactly that. And Jay made such a good point of that. All of the big signings, all of these moving parts and things like that when we ran away with the league with players like Luis Diaz, like Nunez, these hardworking, almost underdog like players, is it LFC? Is this new look the fabric of the club, of what the badge means and what it represents? Is the big money signings us? I don't know, right? Because Liverpool, our identity, or especially under Klopp over the past 10 years, has been hungry players, underdogs who are there to prove a point, and beat the big guys. And now it feels like the roles are reversed in a lot of these games where it's almost like they're the underdogs and they got to beat us because we're the big guys, right? And I feel like the roles reversing and the positions reversing is kind of messing up with our mojo and who we are as a club. And it's interesting, it's weird, it's different, and it doesn't feel like LFC right now. Four losses in a row, it does need to be addressed. But as fans, we do have no control over any of the stuff that happens on the pitch, right? So does it make sense for us to come after each other? No, I don't think so. You're going to see that literally everywhere within this community, outside of this community. You're going to see that everywhere where we just start attacking and bashing each other. And the other fans are just going to say, look at them. Look at how they're handling their first title in so many years. Look at them handling this after Klopp. We knew last season was a fluke. The last thing I think this team needs is us to pile on top of it. But I will be honest and I will be straightforward that things do need to change. And there was a counter argument in our Discord about the whole renovation and stuff like that and things needing to settle and things like that of that slot maybe not taking full advantage of the renovation because you look at the international break from last week and almost all of our players played fantastic. Almost all of them played fantastic at international duty. Then when they come together, what happens? What's going on? Why are they not playing well together? And I think maybe it comes down to Slot's tactics. Is this me saying Slot out? Absolutely not. I think that's way too early, especially after legit just 4 months ago we won a league title with Arne Slot. But I do think there is something that needs to be taken into consideration with Arne. He is still a very new and a very young manager. And what's insane to even say is that he needs time, as a lot of these players are going to need time to get better with this Liverpool team. I mean, think about Sabassalai's second half of his first season, right? Where a lot of people, oh, he's not the guy that we thought he was. It took him a couple seasons to kind of get used to the Premier League and start playing at his best. Now I think he's an undroppable, right? I think the same thing is going to happen with Arne Slot as a manager, and I think the same thing is going to have to happen with a lot of these players. Not all of them are going to be Hugo. Not all of them are going to hit the ground running and go. I will say Florian Wirtz played very well today when he came on and probably should have started. Slot has learning to do. He does. He has a lot of learning to do. We got the finished product with Jurgen Klopp when we got him because he cut his teeth at Dortmund. He failed a lot at Dortmund. He had bad seasons in the beginning when he first started at Dortmund, and even at the end at Dortmund. We got the finished product of Jurgen Klopp. We did not get the finished product of Arne Slot. Feyenoord is really his biggest job that he's had, right? And then you get Liverpool coming after one of the most iconic managers, if not the most iconic manager in Premier League history, right? In terms of personality, how big he was, his aura, all of that, legacy, all of that. These are massive, massive expectations. And what I find is really funny is that at the beginning of last season, right, there were zero expectations. Let's just qualify for Champions League. This guy's new. Those were realistic, right? This guy's new. We don't know nothing about him. You know, we hear a lot of good things from Feyenoord fans about him. And then now at the end of the seasons, and expectations change. I get that because we won that title so comprehensively, because we gave PSG that run for the money, and maybe if we got past them, we maybe could have had some Champions League glory as well last season. I think that expectations need to go back to last season, at the beginning of last season, of like, okay, now that was a really good season. I'm not gonna call it fluky, but let's actually get real now. Let's go back to reality where we understand that this is still season 2 for Arne Slot at Liverpool FC. It's still season 2. It's still game 10 for Florian Wirtz. Game 10 for Hugo Ekitike. Game 4 for Isak, right? Now, the veteran players like Mo and VVD, no excuse, obviously. And maybe we won't even talk about them in this video. Maybe that's for another video. But I think the expectations need to come down all the way this season. And unfortunately for Arne Slot and these boys, I don't think they can. That's the unfortunate thing. I think they should come down, but I don't think that they are going to, and that they can come down because you don't spend this type of money, bring in these types of players and this type of name value. I mean, Isak converts by itself. You can't do that, and the expectations go down. It just can't happen. And maybe we shot ourselves in the foot by going after these massive names that we did and renovating the house that just brought a championship title. Maybe we didn't need to do that. Maybe you stick with the guys that got you the title. You don't listen to fan chatter and fan noise. Now people are saying, oh, we miss Lucho. Oh, we miss Nunez. Oh, we miss Harvey. A lot of these players that we wanted to see move on, but we got the guys that we've been begging for, right? We got Florian Wirtz. We got Isak. We got Hugo Ekitike. We got a new left back. We replaced Trent. We all of those things that we said that we wanted. We got. Even the people that were asking, we need better backup for Ali. Maybe Callagher needs to start starting. Is Ali too injured? We got Mamardashvili, right? We got a good center back. He blew his knee, unfortunately. A lot of these things we took care of that a lot of the fans were demanding. And maybe fans shouldn't run the club, right? Maybe fan chatter shouldn't go into who we buy and who we don't buy. And FSG has typically have been really good about that. But I do think the Isak move, maybe a little bit of the Hugo Ekitike move, it's a mixture of a lot of things that was going on at one time. Maybe those moves actually don't make sense when you look back at them. But I don't know. This is me just raw rambling, ranting, and things like that. Because 4 in a row it's not good. It doesn't look good. And this season is going to look a lot different than the one from last season. Let's just be very honest and be very clear. Slot is going to have to look into his tactics 100%. And the thing that we praised him for last year, the tinkering, the changing, doing weird little changes and things like that mid game, adjusting at halftime, making substitutions that completely change the game, is now looking like a weakness for him, which is insane, right? So he's got to figure out how he's able to dial that in. And And in the Discord, we had a little riff in the Discord about Sabo playing at right back, bringing Frimpong in, getting moving Salah off, and those types of things. And I think a lot of the stuff it's situational, right? A lot of that stuff situational. Sabo is at right back because we wanted to bring on another attacker. We wanted to switch things up. We wanted four up front. Sabo was at right back so he could drift into midfield and give us an outlet ball, which eventually that changed, brought us the goal back, right? And then within minutes, we concede again, right? But I seen, in the Discord we were talking like, does that make sense of playing these players out of position? Sabo isn't a right back. I agree, he's not. He's not a right back at all, but he's been playing the best out of the right backs that we have in that position. But then it's another fold to it, which everyone in the Discord made a good point of that. Just play the guys that you signed in the positions that you signed them in, right? Play Frimpong. Actually give him minutes and reps at right back and stop putting, your midfielder at right back. But it's been working. But do you keep doing the thing that's working even though it's wrong? Right. And I was the one defending it. I was the one defending it. Well, maybe because I'm biased towards Slot, or maybe because I'm biased towards Sabasli, right? That might be it. And I'm glad you guys are calling me out on that, right? But it's situational in a lot of these things. And the conceding of the goal, it's a set piece. It really doesn't have anything to do with Sabo. I mean, Sabo did concede the corner, but it was good defending, right? Sometimes, you give away a corner even though you're defending really well. The bad thing is that we conceded from set pieces, and I think we've conceded the most from set pieces this season, if I'm not mistaken. That needs to be addressed. And then there's where there's too many attackers on the field. Do you expect the attackers to defend in football? I think so. I think in Jurgen Klopp's, and I hate to compare it, but in Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, they all defended from front to back, all 11 players, and we were solid defensively from set pieces. We couldn't score set pieces to save our lives, but we were solid defensively from set pieces because everybody understood that you worked hard from back to front and from front to back. And the new players, maybe they don't understand that, and I think Slot has to drill in a philosophy, right? He's got to drill in a philosophy of play into these players. We knew what Jurgen was drilling into these players. They knew what to expect. Heavy metal football. Everybody ran. Everybody pressed. Everybody worked hard. Is that the same message that is being portrayed in the back room? We don't know. Only time will tell on if Slot is given the same thing. But it's hard for me to wrap my head around how we can go from running away with the league last season, looking almost unbeatable in stretches, right? Where we went on that 20 plus game win streak, right? And people, before we lost to Bournemouth, or yeah, I think it was Bournemouth. I always get it wrong. Bournemouth, yeah. Some people were saying we may go invincible that last season. And then to lose four in a row now, that just tells you that no two seasons are the same, right? And you always have to grow, and you always have to change, and you always have to get better as a manager. And like I said before, this is Slot's first big test. This is his first time really understanding, getting under pressure of being in a club like Liverpool FC. And I hope this is him bending and not breaking, right? Because I know there's going to be a section of the fans that are going to think he's lost the plot. I think it's still a little bit too soon. We're not getting blown away by these teams, like I've said before, but we should be beating these teams. The chances that's been missed, I think Slot's going to have to make some tough decisions. I think Mo Salah may need to take a couple games off on the bench. Is time catching up with him? I don't know. Is he to blame for the conceding of the goal? No, I don't think so. I think two things can be true at multiple times, right? Is he the blame for the goal? No. Does he need to be on the pitch at all times? I don't think so either. So Slot's gonna have to figure out what one attacking front line works the best with the personnel that he has, because it's not the same personnel. And he's got to understand that you don't have Lucho there anymore. that works his ass off up and down that wing. You don't have Darwin Nunez there anymore, who is a physical beast and wins balls back in the defensive half and storms up the pitch and occupies space and pulls defenders left and right and things like that. Isak is more of an elusive player. Hugo Ekitike is more of a technical, tricky player. He's not a physical beast like that. Neither of them are like that and can run for days and days and days and get physical with people and bump people off the ball and win headers in midfield. So you're gonna lose that. And then you put Florian in there, who is not that type either, right? He works hard off the ball and is a great presser, but he doesn't have that physicality in there with Nunez and Sabo like we did last season, who was the physicality in the midfield, right? And then you had Lucho on the left side, who was the physicality on the left hand side. Things are going to have to change, and he's going to have to adapt to the players that he has and actually play them together, right? When Hugo, Isak, and Verts were on the field at the same time, we looked like a different side. He's got to figure out how he can incorporate all of the new players that he brought in and make this work, even if that means you sacrifice a legend in Mo Salah, who is, whether you guys like it or not, now the past of Liverpool, right? And a little bit of the present and not the future. You have to build towards the future if you're Arne Slot. We can't keep relying on Salah. We can't keep relying on VVD to bail us out every time. They are getting older. Father Time has not lost to a single athlete ever. We knew that it was only a matter of time before Salah's production dropped off. Did we think it was going to happen this quickly, this steeply, this sharply? I'm sure none of us did after that last season. But this is Arne Slot's job. He is going to have to figure this out. Let me know what you guys think down below. And again, let's keep it cordial in here. It's a rough time for the team. It's a rough time for the fan base. The last thing we need is to attack each other. Let's be polite towards each other. Let's be respectful towards each other. This channel, I think, my channel, I wanted to always be different from the rest of the channels, where there wasn't a bunch of negativity, there wasn't a bunch of hate and things like that. Those things won't be tolerated on this channel. You guys can be passionate. We can have blow-ups. We're human beings, but we never attack each other personally. Okay, guys? So I appreciate all of you. If it's your vibe, sub to the channel. I appreciate you for subbing to the channel. If it's not, all good. You're free to comment whatever you want. You're free to say whatever you want. Just keep it respectful. We're all human beings on the other side of this. We don't know each other. So don't get personal with people because you don't know them personally. And if someone does get personal with you, don't take it personally because you don't know them personally. They don't know you. So it ain't the truth, right? So I know this one's a little bit of a long one. Appreciate you all, and we'll see you midweek. Peace.